Hey guys, it's Quickie Baby, and today TT Chip is going to show us some gameplay in the E100 Jagdpanzer. Now this is a tank that you don't see that often in highlight kind of videos, and this one definitely deserves to be. Now the E100 Jagdpanzer, when it first came out, had the highest alpha damage in the game. Then, I think 5 patches later, Wargaming released the British tanks, and then I think a patch or two after that, the tank destroyers along with them, and the FV215B183 came out, which meant that the Jagdpanzer E100 had 100 points less alpha damage on its 170mm than the 183mm, which even with its AP rounds does 1,150 on the FV215B. If you fire Hesh, then well, you're simply gonna wreck the enemy tanks until this patch, when its penetration has been nerfed a little bit. But if you do penetrate the enemy with that 230mm of penetration, you're able to do 1,750 damage, i.e. you one-shot quite a few, well, every tank that's lower tier than you, and there are even some tier 10 tanks which you can one-shot. So I believe that's why the Jagdpanzer E100 is probably played a lot less. And maybe players who really enjoyed that high alpha damage gameplay that they get in the Jagdpanzer E100 moved into the FV215B183. However, with the nerf on the FV215B183, maybe there's now more room than ever for the Jagdpanzer E100. And its strength, compared to the 183, is its armor. Doesn't have a turret, doesn't have the most alpha damage, but its armor is infinitely better. And if you can hide your lower plate, like Chip is doing here, then you're nearly impenetrable, apart from one of the weak points on top of your vehicle. So TT Chip tried to shoot the top of the IS-3 turret there. That's one of the weakest parts of the IS-3 armor. Fortunately for him, luck wasn't on his side, and his shell ditched itself into, well, embedded itself into the rock face. As you can see, the rate of fire on the Jagdpanzer E100 is pretty darn slow, and it should be to do 1,100 alpha damage. Oh, that's painful. Is that deja vu? Holy moly. TT Chip must be cursing his luck right now, as the second shot that he puts at the IS-3, which probably I'd say 8 times out of 10 would hit, embeds another round into the rock. But that one dipped nicely for him. That one dipped into the side of the front armor there on the IS-7, doing 1,095 damage. It's one of the most heavily armored tanks in the game, well, at least frontally. Now Chip is considering firing at the KV-4 now, but he's not interested. Now we can see the IS-7 is aiming at the superstructure of his tank, but Chip gives him one in reply. No one else has damaged that IS-7, but Chip has done 2,124 damage to him with just 2 shots. Now just to quickly show you where that one penetrated, it was the superstructure.